Hi, Billy.
Hi, my name is Billy. Nice to meet you all.
Billy, this is the Great Clips staff for East and West Side.
Oh, you stand with
Hand
us.
it to Lexi.
Yep.
Hi, thanks.
I'll wait till she's done.
My wife may stop by and just watch.
She wants.
Oh yeah, we are doing a class. We will close at 7.
Oh, I'm in the radio. Sorry.
Lexi,
Are we ruining your class? Sorry.
No.
you okay to go?
I'm just gonna wait till she's off the phone.
Don't worry, I got that part under control.
Bye.
Right in the
And then I'm gonna wait till she gets back.
I won't be when it starts. Oh.
Okay, I'm sure Ashley she'll be all right. So, thanks for coming to my class. I know that there are a lot of questions about the future of shavers here. I'm not here to talk about them. If you have questions about it, please talk to your managers. I strongly believe that we should have classes for things that we can use outside of just Great Clips. We are not just hair cutting, we can also learn color and things like that. But one of those things is shavers.
My daughter will be a model.
Yeah.
You want to do color class?
What are the shavers? The shavers are electric, they're a little motor. You usually have typically 2 kinds of blades. Some of them are a little bit different. Some of them, one whole thing comes off, and then others, they're 2. Now, there is a huge difference in quality. So I have 3 different ones here. I've got the Andis T-liners, I've got the Wall 5 stars, and then I've got the Babeless Pros. So I watched a whole bunch of reviews, and the one that came out on top was Lexi's Babeless Pros. And I'm going to show you guys.
Do we sell those?
No.
No.
These are not in Salon Innovations. They were like
Cosmo Prof.
Cosmo
For how
Prof.
much? 100.
100.
Well, she already gave us
99.
a discount if you want to buy. No, Cosmo Prof's owned by our salon. Never mind.
No, it's the
No,
one
Cosmo
over.
Prof.
Yeah,
You're
right.
thinking of the right one.
Okay, yeah, she gave us a discount if anyone wants.
Shannon?
And
Yeah, she works there.
one thing that'll save us a lot of money is if you invest in these, you're not going to be spending $30 every single time you break another foil. So if you look, you see how there's like a whole bunch of space right there, and then there's not as much.
Can you pass the broken ones around?
Yep, if you will. Okay. So see how there's like that big space right there? That's why these are so crappy. Whereas these are deeply embedded into the shavers. So these, sometimes they pop out, they chip, like mine are chipped right there.
Oh.
So one of the
Oh,
reasons
I
that
see.
these are better, you're not going to be dealing with that as much. And you see how the foil is deeper set in on these ones? So yeah, those ones are kind of trash, but if you're in a pinch, I mean, you got what you got. Oh, here, let's go show you. See how that's
Yeah.
got a lip right there? And
Yeah.
then that one doesn't, that one does. That one does not. Words.
I've had those for 3 months and haven't even changed.
Well, I'm being
I-
educated already.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm being educated.
So those, when they, how do you know, like with those, these Lexi, like
So
how
people,
you need to change it?
people have said that you can actually use these for years and years. I was
Without
watching
changing
a
it?
lot of reviews, and because the blades inside are sharp enough and this foil is thick and nice and you don't have to worry about it breaking, you are looking at maybe like once a year.
Yeah, I haven't changed them yet. I've had them for 3 months so far. And when I was using the red ones, when Lori was using them, they kept breaking. She had to like buy like 3 different foils every time someone was using them.
And Lexi's go so much faster, and they
And they-
get
they-
so
A
big
lot
closer.
smoother.
Yeah, and
They do, yeah.
they cut time
They're the
faster than the
bomb.
other 2.
And the other thing about these is that the line, the shaver line, is much easier to blend out with these than you fighting with the old ones. So another reason to keep those in mind.
Real quick, I'm gonna give everyone stickies. If we have questions, we're gonna parking lot them.
Oh,
Yes. If you guys want,
You guys think about it, Janine,
just put your parking lot questions up here on the mirror, and we will get to them.
at
the
that way, we're not
I'm not dying trying to answer everyone's questions.
We passed to Lexi.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so I am quickly gonna show you guys just how to take these apart in case you don't know. There's a button on the side, most of them have this button. You pop it off, you turn this, and then this comes off. The best way to clean these is to use canned air, or if you don't have canned air, you'll have to completely take it apart, use your scrubby, and actually, you're gonna have to actually go in and scrub
Wait
this
a second.
That's cool.
I didn't even know that thing came out.
No,
Yep.
We've had those
So-
forever.
To fully sanitize them, what I do is I take this completely apart. I use my canned air in these little spaces, and on here, it's a little gentler too. And then I go in, scrub it out, spray it with sanitizer, and then it's fully ready for your next client.
And I'll, that part.
Nope.
Does it have to go on a certain way?
Yes, it does. At least this top part, obviously. This thing, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, that's what I was,
'Cause
okay,
that's
'cause
all
I
you-
would flip it probably, okay.
That's okay. Yeah, just whatever you.
There comes a leaf. I got her.
I never met her.
Hey.
We're talking about cool things about shavers.
Mm-hmm. You want to grab some snacks and get on in here? I'm just about to start.
This chair.
You are?
I'm gonna keep going though soon.
You can have this one, and there's favorite snacks are back. Okay. Go ahead, Ashley.
Okay, so one of the biggest things that I see is we're not prepping the scalp properly before we're doing the shavers. This can lead to cuts on your client. This can lead to infections. If you have a diabetic client, that can actually escalate pretty bad. So what we want to do, if you see your client has like dry scalp or anything like that, I use the Mazzani curl enhancing lotion. It's technically a styling product, but it's very moisturizing. So if you see your client has some dry patches, we're gonna imagine there's some right there. Take it in, rub it in, and then you'll go, okay?
You don't have to imagine.
I already have Mr. Billy here shampooed and deep conditioned, but
It's so fluffy.
yeah, but we're gonna do that again. So if you can, you need to be encouraging your client to get a shampoo with a shaver cut. That's not only gonna cut out it taking down your productivity, that's also gonna make sure that we're caring for the client properly. So,
That's what we want you guys to use for defending our shavers.
Got that, Jimmy?
so I'm gonna go ahead and make a
I'm team
line.
shaver, so.
I'm gonna make a line right here, and I'm gonna show you guys basically how to blur out a shaver line first before we do the rest of it.
His hair grew back so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You come in what, once a week? Every other week? Like
I
every,
was every 2 weeks.
every 2 weeks?
You were just saying last week and
A week before, I
I
thought.
think it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks, yeah. I think.
You got your nose.
Why am I going?
Okay.
You even pop a break down here.
Hey, can I borrow your?
Yep.
Do a quick little fade here, real quick.
Did you already explain that you have to use like the balding clippers?
No, I didn't, but
You're gonna go?
yeah. So when you are about to start using your shavers, we're in the I'm finishing the haircut phase. You know, you're getting done with your fade, you finish the top. I save the shavers for the end. Oh, sorry. You can put in your line and then go ahead and use them. I just prefer to do the whole haircut first. Try and save myself some time. Let me just a second. It's crazy doing a fade on your hair because you never get a fade. Okay. Before I put the shavers on his head, I'm going to put the Love Oil on his scalp. The Love Oil is going to moisturize his scalp because we are exfoliating the top layer. So you wanna make sure if this is nice and hydrated, you are way less likely to get cuts and tears and all that nonsense we don't want. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a pump, rub it in right here because this is where I'm about to work.
And it makes it easier to cut too.
Mm-hmm. Only thing I have heard bad about these is that sometimes, and especially if you're using the oil, it can be hard to grip.
Yeah.
Easy way to fix
They
that.
they make grippers.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Nope,
They make grippers for them.
Oh, yeah, and they're a little heavy too.
Yeah.
So what I do,
I just use a cut letter.
you have to go down first. That's your first move. So go down, and then you can go back up. I'll go back down, and sometimes
you want to turn him so you can see the sizes how well you do it.
So I'll go down and then up. And I kind of work in short little bursts when I'm going up. I'm trying to make a line here so you guys can see me fade it out. Okay. This is an itty bitty line right here, but do you guys see it? No? No? Okay.
It's a little shadow. And then
It is a little shadow, but I blended it too well already. Hairstylist problems. I blended the line too well.
Nice fade.
Thanks. And sometimes when you're using the Love Oil, what I've noticed is sometimes the hair kind of sticks. If you guys are getting really frustrated with that hair sticking, just take a towel. It's always better to work on a clean canvas anyway, so. I can get these back on. So our fade right here, if you guys actually want to come up here, if you want, if you can't see the line, basically all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go down. Little brush strokes. Grabbing only the smallest amount of hair that I can with the shavers. You don't want to go back up because that'll move your line back up. You just want to go down. Like that.
Good job. Beautiful.
Nice. All right. So next I'm gonna go ahead and shave off all the rest of his hair. And then we are all going to take turns using the shavers. I'm gonna watch you guys, kind of give you some tips, or if I see you're like doing something weird with your hand, I'll let you know. But go ahead and get your head shaved.
It's a shame you're gonna shave off that.
No, if you guys feel like grabbing some edgers and helping me, that's fine.
my mom has a question.
My rodeo. Now would be a good time for questions if you guys have questions.
Can you use the shavers on your face?
Yes, you can. Actually, that's typically what they were originally made for. It's only been in recent years that hairstylists and barbers have started using shavers. Before that, we were doing the hot towel shave, not here, but we were doing hot towel shaves to try and get as close. The reason the shavers were made because there was a need for an alternative to a straight razor shave. So, modern age of technology, this is what we've got.
And it takes it down to skin without using a razor.
Yep, skin
Can you use them on your legs?
Yeah,
Yes, you can.
I
can
use them for my legs.
But you have to pre-shave it though.
Yes.
Sorry.
So you cannot. The shavers will do nothing if the hair is too long. That is why you have to use your balding clippers or your very sharp, very close edgers. Borrow some from someone else if you don't have any. But that's why, because you're basically just going to be wasting your own time.
Even like Lexi's, you still have to pre-shave.
Yeah. Yep. It will not. So like if your client's got long hair and you like drop your shavers like on their head, it's not like dropping your clippers where all of a sudden there's a hole in the hair. Because it literally just won't cut it.
Not that we've ever dropped anything really.
No.
Oh,
Do you want me to help you pre-shave his hair?
If you want to help me. We're doing this beard too, so there's enough space for everyone.
Oh, get in there.
Do you feel me like rubbing your scalp or like hair or something? Trying to be like your mom. Feel a little bit better.
So Aspen, I missed the part where you said working a line out. You said
So basically you just go down in very gentle strokes. So if these were my shavers, basically all you're doing is very gently going down. You don't want to rock it and try and fade it that way like
Create another line.
like you would with your
Done that.
clippers. Yep.
Let's create another line.
it's not fun.
Or, go ahead.
I was gonna say, a general rule of thumb, you have to use the tool or guard you used to get a line out. So if you used a 1 guard and now there's a line, you have to use the 1 guard to get the line out.
Oh.
If you're using the shavers and there's a line, you have to use the shavers to get the line out. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Poor Janine's over here just working away. I love
So Janine, have you talked to them about the shaver thing and about how we don't know the future of the shavers?
Yeah, they all know.
I told them if they have any questions about the future of shavers at Great Clips that they should direct it to management. I said they should direct it to the manager.
Here's
I
the
tell you,
problem
mustache
with
off
them
too.
is it's time consuming.
No, excuse me, I had 2 45-minute haircuts today and none of them were shavers. They were women who came in here with long hair who did
I
not
know,
want to
well,
shampoo.
we're not
and
debating
wanted
it
to-
right now. We're not debating it. I'm just saying if you guys have suggestions for how it won't take, because I like the shavers.
My girls decided that Mark should do a pop-in on the
That's a
situation
good
before he
idea.
makes a final decision about it.
Honestly, why can't people bring that point up? It's, the shavers do not take people.
Well, this isn't the time to debate it, but.
Yeah, that's just if you
I think
guys.
it's honestly because we're using the wall ones. That's why it's taking so
And that's, I said that
Quality.
today too. That if we're gonna have them, I think everyone needs to have, invest in quality shavers.
Which is why I mentioned
Because
to you guys the
The
difference.
wall and the Andis are what, $80 anyways? Why not spend the extra 20 for something that is more
It's good,
efficient?
Yeah, then you're not gonna be spending $30 every day
And if
every
you already
month.
have them, then
And
that's
Shannon
$8
gets
that
a
you would
discount, but she works
spend.
there.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I've had my shavers for a long time, and I don't have to.
Well, I don't think they
change
can
the
tell you
oil.
you're required to have a certain
Yeah, I've
brand,
never
but.
had to change a oil. I have 2 extras, but
Because I put the chair far away.
I quit working.
Have you used balding clippers before? No?
Yeah, please don't wash hair with water. That's my biggest thing.
This is why I tried to be.
So if we got this taken away, we'd go back to balding clippers.
Words. Words are hard.
You don't like balding clippers?
No, they just cut people more usually.
Yeah.
I-
I said the same thing.
What have I been using them for 3 years? I've never cut somebody with them, ever. If
But
you-
see, I
Well,
think
just-
everybody gets different experiences with everything. It
Yeah.
just depends on how you use it,
Your client.
your
Yeah.
client. Dang, Jay forgot.
I'm so sad. Jay forgot me.
I get the blades out.
It's on Facebook.
Hey, did you find any information on whether you should put oil on those or not? Because Sierra swears you're supposed to put oil.
Yeah. It's like
Oh,
Aspen,
Yes, ma'am.
did you find any information that said that you're supposed to
Oil your
the
The blades.
yeah?
I don't think you. I haven't
You didn't
seen.
see any
I haven't seen
information?
anything that says that you should.
I think it'll
Scalp anyway.
And if you are cleaning them properly and putting on the clipper side that has a little bit of oil in it anyway, I think it's better to just go about it that way. If they're pulling the client's hair, you either need to look at getting a new blade, check your foils, or maybe see if you need to oil them. But I really, truly, 100% do not think you need to oil them.
Clippers come with oil, and oil didn't come with the shavers. So
Yeah.
you need to oil them.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Actually, the pen you gave me.
Ruined my shirt.
Okay.
So, Lori told me also, if you go in the trimmer sideways,
It cuts closer.
Go
Yeah.
put detergent on it now.
so did you guys hear
Can I
that?
grab permission?
If you take your trimmer sideways, it will cut closer.
Yeah.
So if you do trimmers regular way and then sideways and then do your shaver, it's been easier for me.
Yeah.
She taught me that too, and I would definitely agree. I don't think that's something you have to do every time, but.
Oh, if you're having trouble, right?
Yeah, if you're having trouble. So speaking of having trouble with the clippers, one thing, if you guys are struggling, you can't figure it out, there's like hairs, you don't know how to get them out, a cool trick that I learned is if you actually put a little bit of baby powder on your client's scalp, you can see where all the hairs are. You can see that it's a little longer right there. There's like hardly anything there. But if you're struggling, you can't see the little hairs, put some powder on it and you'll be able to see it.
That's cool.
The only concern I have with this is how it'll mix with the love oil. Yeah, so do it sparingly if you can. But if you're struggling, there's a tip. All right, so we're gonna put our love oil on. I do 2 pumps, and that should be enough. You don't want their head to be like greasy. You just need it to be healthy, moisturized.
Can you put that on their face too?
Yes, I'm going to. Especially, you especially want to put love oil on if you're doing their face. Hairs on your face, facial hair is actually a lot deeper in the root. It's a lot thicker. So the more you moisturize the hair, the easier it's going to be to get out of that little pore. A little bit more. So I actually find that I usually have to use a little bit more oil on the beard and the mustache, just because it doesn't absorb as well as the scalp does. Don't know why. I think it's because of how thick the hair is, but okay. So, I'm gonna show you guys one more time, and then one by one I'm gonna have you guys come up here, do it, and then we'll talk about it and see how everyone's doing. Not like that.
You know what? I don't use them like that. That trips me out.
So
Like,
down
why-
there.
Is there a right and a wrong way to hold those?
Yes. So there is a top and there is a bottom. The point of it is to gently glide across the scalp. So you always want to have the top one on top, the longer one. You guys see the longer one?
I go every which way with them. I like go sideways with them.
You can, but the way you want to start, you have to follow the hair. So like this hair up here is shooting that way. So I'm gonna go down this way and then work my way up.
So you go with the growth of the hair and
With
then
the grain.
against, and
Yep.
then against.
Yep. So right here, all this hair is growing down right here. So we're gonna go down. And then like Lori was talking about, you can go kind of sideways and that will help you, especially if you're in a tricky area where there's lots of angles. But you see, once you get the hang of it, you can actually go pretty quick. There's also times, and you guys will be able to tell because you're smart hairstylists, there are times you're gonna need to pull the skin tight to be able to actually get all of that hair.
I learned that from
You're up.
Jocelyn.
Oh, me?
But the
Yep.
crazy thing
Just
is,
do
I
it. Just do
I
it.
have not been
Let
holding
me see
mine
how you
like
do
that.
it
No?
with your own shavers.
No.
They're greasy, sorry.
Well, I guess I didn't read the instructions.
No, it's got a big old head.
Stop by 10. That would help you.
Just stay here for
Yeah.
a time.
Sweet. You wanna come try, Mom? Come
Do
on,
it.
Come try.
Do it.
Alright, so
Is this
just
your mom?
pop that button
Yeah.
up.
She's a big
And
fan.
then you're gonna go
Yeah.
down.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta go.
I'm licensed, I just renewed mine last month, so I'm fresh.
Yay.
Alright, you got this.
Oh my god. I have never in.
It's so sweet.
Your mom is so cute.
She's like, I'm going to get some lunch to my legs.
And now you can.
Baby butt soft. Oh my gosh. Where have these been all my life?
And you can imagine that you can, oh,
So
you go ahead.
there's a line.
Yep.
You just continue to.
You can go up. Do you want to try and fade that line out? You want to keep going. Yeah, just like that.
Wow,
You
you
did
picked
it.
that up
You
fast.
did it. Great job.
Good job, Mom.
All right, Amanda.
You start tomorrow.
Man, those are
There you go.
nice.
Go ahead and do that section right there.
Everybody's all jealous of Lexi and her
Right,
stinky
right.
shavers. Why did you decide to get those anyway? Why didn't you go with like the
Because Laura
regular?
had them. Before she left, she had them from extra baby list.
We sure did.
Yeah, she had them, and I used them because I didn't have any of my own. I was using everyone else's, and I got tired of asking them. And then I used hers, and I just fell in love with hers because how
They look so much faster.
They are.
Wow.
Okay,
They
hold on.
don't
Come
need-
in. That's a good point.
Because mine has to do like 4 times to get the lamp.
You guys.
Go ahead, Brittany.
Okay.
You got
So,
this.
wait, hold on, pause. So one thing is the ears. This is where we miss a lot of time. There are always a few, like 3-4 hairs. Go ahead, don't mess around, just take your edgers. If you need to, if it's too long, go over it real quick. Sometimes I keep both my edgers and my shavers in my hands.
Maybe two.
But if it's small enough, like this, we can literally just go over it like that and it'll go away. So you do have some leeway with how short the hair is. Thank you, Amanda. But when you guys are going over the ears, sometimes if you pull the ear down, you can actually, because their hair grows on their ear, you can pull it down and get those little spots right there.
It won't cause like razor burn trying to get down
Finish out
in
that
there.
spot right there. Huh?
Trying to get down in there, like,
Yes.
it won't cause razor burn.
No,
Or
as
razor
long as
hairs.
you were doing the right prep,
Fresh oil would
it will not
probably-
cause razor burn. Unless, of course, your client has some sort of skin, something or another that would cause them
At
that.
my salon, I tell the girls if they have the bumps from those,
Don't do it.
I don't let them do the shavers. I don't know how you guys are like that.
That's
The bumps?
Yeah.
You mean like when they have like Nestle Crunch, like?
Yeah. That's for on purpose, they don't sanitize their stuff. It's highly contagious. It's like little baby.
You'll see it on a
staph.
lot of the
Oh, like
military
those
guys.
red bombs with like
Yes.
the little yellow like pockets and
Yes.
stuff.
Something you might, I'll have to research that a little bit. You could put alcohol on first and then do it
Do it to
to
sanitize it more.
sanitize.
I don't think
I
that
probably
that's
just wouldn't mess with it. That's my opinion.
I tell them-
Grow out.
They don't,
Yeah.
it doesn't go away. I tell
Okay.
my
Do they
clients
cause
that with your thing, you know, whatever.
Your thing.
Yeah. Usually I have a better word, but I'm on the spot.
With your little
I'm like,
situation
we're
back here.
unable to use shavers. Me?
Mm-hmm.
Do they get bad?
No.
I mean,
Don't let them get mad. Alright.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
like
you
Halloween
do.
and stuff.
Put that second.
There's that one guy.
You gotta kind of use your fingernail a little bit. There you go. Nope, no. It's okay, it's okay. Hey, let me
Don't
see-
watch me.
Let me see your hand. So you're gonna hold it kind of like that, and then you're gonna go down and then up.
Okay.
Little short strokes up.
Am I doing it right?
Kinda. Here, let me show you.
Oh my
one thing.
God.
That's okay. It's okay.
I do use shavers every
I
day.
know, it's okay. Look. So I'm gonna pull this, go down a couple times.
Okay, so down a big stroke and then.
Basically, when you go down, you're mapping out where you're gonna take the shavers next. So if you go down in that line, that's where you're going up. You're not gonna go beside it or next to it, you're gonna do where you just went down.
These are nice. Wow, these are really soft.
They're like the Louis Vuitton of.
I know.
Billy, can you feel a difference between the different kind of shavers we use? No, it's no fancy.
I mean, I've only been
They're- I
shaving
think
me
they're
with this
even
one
smoother.
today. I mean, if you try another one, I can tell. Maybe.
Have you ever dropped these? Because they're so heavy.
I've never dropped them yet.
Yeah,
Just
don't say
teach
that.
you.
Don't say that.
I can tell the difference between people.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead and look down for me, Billy. Alright, go down and then up, 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 up.
If you have a talking thing,
Go ahead and do that whole little, yep. We're all gonna shave Billy's head together. Really gentle. It's okay. Here, I'm gonna hold your hand. Are you gonna do it? I'm gonna go. You have to be aggressive. And then go up, 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 up. Right? Just make sure that if you feel like you're bouncing a lot, hold your skin and just really kind of press a little bit. They will be okay, I promise. If your client's getting shavers, you can assume they're not fragile little babies, and you can actually press. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. All right. What's your name? Back there in the yellow. I'm not gonna make you do this occipital bone.
We got someone.
No, they do. Well, they might be, but they do just kind of sound like a lawnmower.
Require them.
Okay, so go ahead and do that trim right there. Remember to follow the green. Go down first. So, one thing, if you are working in small little sections like we have been on him tonight, it is going to take you centuries to do your haircut. So, best thing you can do, right. There you go. Good job.
I did it.
The best thing, if you are trying to go fast, so we've got the rest of this head left. I'm just going to show you guys so that you have another visual aid, and then I'm going to have you go.
Who will?
Brittany.
You just went. You want her to go again?
So Jocelyn, you're next, right?
That's what I got.
I want to see what you're doing.
We believe in you.
Wait, I want to see this part. Okay, because actually, can I try the other one so he can tell us if it makes
I
a
was
difference?
gonna do that on his beard, but we can do that.
Okay, I just want to try. Okay, now what do I do?
So you're gonna go down, and then go up, 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 up. So wherever you go down, that's where you're getting ready to go up.
Where's the line?
He doesn't really have a line because we're shaving it all off.
No, I'm trying to create.
Oh, you want to create a line?
You have to go up to your line. When you go down, you're softening it. Just moving
There's
it
a line
out.
right there. You just give him a line. Okay.
That's how I look at it.
So to fade out the line, remember you gotta go down. You see how it just blends right out?
No, what was this way?
That's, you shouldn't use the shavers like that.
Why?
Because you can break your foil.
I think that's what I just discovered something. Because I don't use my shavers like that, and I just realized I'm like, wait,
Does it cut better that
I
way?
go the other way.
And are you going through foil?
So you're not using
No.
both blades, you're only using the one?
I'm confused.
Well, you push it down, but
So
I didn't know you could go that way.
So
doesn't
she
feel
was
natural, that's
basically
probably
only using this part. She was using them like this
Oh, the bottom foil instead of using
instead of using it like this.
Okay.
But hey, I mean, if it works, it works. All right, Lindsay.
Wait, you go this way? Which way do you go?
Huh?
That's what I'm trying to actually make sure you All right, Miss Lindsay. I want you to go ahead and do that little section right there.
I don't
want to
believe
get
it.
some of that. Okay. All right, you got this.
I'm gonna need a line because I want this. You see what I'm talking about? That's weird, I didn't even know. But that downward like this, that is like, if you do get a line, that is the truth.
Yeah,
Going down like that.
that's, yeah, that's, you take it right away.
Can I like compare it to like what I like always, like just to see? You see how you're holding your arm and having to work more because you're going like that with the, instead of an easy swipe down motion, you're having to pull your arm up and go more like that. I've obviously exaggerated it,
No, you didn't, because I saw her move.
I feel
but. Yeah, her arm was pretty far up.
So you think like ergonomics wise?
Yeah,
Both of your
ergonomics.
shoulder.
Yeah, because
We're putting really in sleep there.
hairdressers do a lot of lifting our shoulders too much.
Oh, I know the elbow above the shoulder, that's so bad.
That's why it's hard to make them sit straight up too, so you're not leaning forward.
I like doing go for it. I'm like, you need to sit up.
I
Yeah,
tell
they're
them, they're like
like
this. And I'm like,
I just want to make sure
back,
you get
they're
it
like
and you've got the hang of it.
looking down, like, can you please keep your head straight? Or like,
Yeah, they're looking down.
You trying to create a line? No, that's how I like usually.
yeah, and I tell them, like, if you don't sit straight up, your face can be.
So I'm gonna give them a line real quick.
I was taking a hell till the end.
Okay, do you see the line?
Most of your shavers are getting a workout today.
You have to charge them tonight.
No, I didn't know if you actually saw her.
I do. I think comparing it to how I've been doing it and doing it the way you shop, I think, yeah, I like it.
See, we all learn something. Never know what you're gonna.
Now, who came in here and was like, I already know how to use shavers, so.
Me.
Where do you want me to do?
And obviously I did.
Whatever you feel like. I know you know how to use it.
That's fine. Yeah.
I wanted to come because you always learn something about everybody. Yeah.
You did start bending out to where you haven't gone down, so whenever you start doing that, try and stop real quick, go down, and then.
Her light came on right off the bat.
We wanted to try the other one, the poopy ones out too,
Amanda, do you have yours? Because mine are actually broken. So.
Yeah, I have mine.
Okay.
Oh, the poopy ones?
Oh, shoot.
They're fine.
Yeah, they're uploaded in there.
One thing. Your pull it tight or is really good.
I love it.
Just go a little closer.
Ashton, you want to color, but she doesn't want to. Did you just try it?
See if that helps just a little bit.
Me?
Coral. You said coral.
I lied. I never know what I'm gonna do.
You're not wrong.
She'll just come in one day.
Okay. So, Mr. Billy here is not done. After you get done with your first round of shavers, and I still need to finish this part of his head, you're gonna notice if you feel it against the grain, there are still hairs that we haven't gotten. So I always say, as soon as you're done with the first round, go ahead and go back over it if you feel any little weird spots, because I guarantee your client will feel them. So it's always better just to be safe, avoid the redo, avoid the angry phone call.
I think after next calling is being like an area teacher person, what are those called?
An educator?
Yeah.
What? What do you say?
You said picture person?
No, like teacher person, like when they go.
Instructor?
Like, yeah, they do the classes and stuff. Like that classes.
Aww. Except I have a crazy fear of public speaking.
I think you're doing fine.
Here we are.
She's like, that's what I want to see, what the best way to do the top is.
Yeah, so I pull the forehead down just a little bit. So we go down.
It is hard to
Do you
find.
guys see how I'm holding my hands too? How I still have this top blade doing exactly where it needs to go in terms of I went down and now I'm going back up.
Can I feel what it feels like?
Yeah. I haven't sanitized it, but.
She's a hairdresser.
Your mom's like, I'm gonna give you a pair.
I will say I've gotten more razor burn on my legs than I have ever seen on anyone's scalp from these.
Oh, you've done those on your legs and it gives you a
It can't be any worse than a raise, like an actual.
I mean, I sanitize pretty well, so I'm not too worried about
It
it.
can't be any worse than like an actual like raise.
We've all worked with stuff and watched her sit in her chair like this with her fingers.
Okay, so next part before we get to his beard, and we'll show the 3 different kinds of shavers. I want you guys to come up here and find a spot if you feel that it's prickly, and I want you guys to get it. Okay? Group activity.
Gee, lead the way.
Come
I
on.
don't want to like over the crowd, man.
Well, unless it's not okay.
Now we're taking turns or just all touching her.
So the best way I found to find those little hairs, if you go against the grain, you'll be able to feel them poking out. And again, if you're having trouble, put the powder on, and the powder will show you exactly where you done goofed. Okay, you can take a turn now. Amanda, I really like the way you held your hands when you did the top.
You passed the category.
Remember to go down first.
It's like our own little category.
Other way. That way. Yep. There you go.
Because the tops where I
Always miss some.
I don't know which way where I'm supposed to do it.
So you're at work.
Okay, Janine, what I
Oh,
want
she
you
was
to do,
supposed to come. She was at a wedding.
since you're struggling with this, I want you to do right here on his cowlick, because these hairs are all going different ways. So you see that hair shooting that way.
So I want to go this way first.
Basically, when you're working on the cowlick, if for some reason we have a client like him and you need to go over the cowlick, you're going to have to go every which way against the grain to get all those hairs.
Oh yeah, I got it.
So what I'm hearing is no shortcut.
No.
Anyone else want to turn?
All right, who else wants to come do this? Not doing it for my health. Yep. All right, just look for a spot that needs a little extra.
We need the trimmers to get these little hairs.
That's one thing I love, especially with my OCD, is that if there's a spot you missed a hair, you'll see it. Nice and bright and sticking out there.
That's why he comes back to these yours after.
Oh yeah, Billy knows I'll get every hair.
Nice track you. How often do you have to come to your haircut?
Maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
So it'll last longer now we got shavers.
Yeah.
Now question, Billy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you would come to Great Cooks if we didn't do a favor?
No, I'm ready for it. No.
Yeah, I already had a few clients, and I was like, so we're not really doing this anymore, and like, yeah, we'll come back.
That's how, but
I
that's
had
how,
one guy the last time we took away the shaders, we left and never.
but that's how dedicated people are to the
Yeah,
shavers.
that's true, but they ended up coming back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I also state
He came
that
back with a friend.
please, do shampoo and conditioner on bald people too.
I think it's the same guy.
Did you guys hear him? He said, please use shampoo and conditioner on bald people.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, they need conditioning.
I've come here once
Okay.
and someone used water, not in the same range. None of you people.
Was it Lexi?
Didn't I sell you a shampoo and conditioner or something?
I think so.
Oh yeah, I remember, didn't you give him his last shampoo for free, because that person he had before that didn't shampoo his hair and he just let it down?
And they charged him?
Take it. Yeah, they
Was that
charged
you?
me.
Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah.
remember you talking about it. And
You
then,
Yeah.
still need the scalp massage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's
But
probably
not-
good to exfoliate that skin and clean that skin.
So you're exfoliating, you're doing a scalp massage, which do you guys know what scalp massages actually do for your client other than feel good?
Makes their hair grow faster.
Do you know why?
No, I don't think that's what it
Blood
flow.
circulation. You got it!
Oh, I see.
It's blood circulation. So
I said it.
what we're doing is we're trying to move the blood around that's gonna help hair grow. But
Was it talking about before hair growing?
yeah. Conditioning, because even bald people need to be taking care of the scalp. The hair and the scalp are two completely different monsters. They should be treated as such. Two different things. The scalp, you can have dry scalp and oily hair. So people need to be using conditioner and shampoo no matter what.
You know, I just realized too with
Answer my questions later.
your technique of going down, if you did that, you could use those on black dudes. Because you should never use those on black dudes unless you ask them if they can use shavers.
What?
Because that will cause so many ingrown hairs in their sequence neck.
You can't, is it because you can't go with the grain for certain parts of it because of the tight foam pattern?
I use shavers on
It depends on what kind of hair spread they have.
Yeah.
But your
just
way of
low.
going the other way, you could, because it's like, some black dudes can get a straight razor because it's a single blade, and it's not cutting,
it clean, yeah.
clean, but not like all the way down bald.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Some guys have the tight trim.
It's
that
these
leaves a
curly
little, like,
off today. I'm just
line.
cutting hair. My hair is always growing like.
Yeah, it'll tell.
You want to, you just said
You
you're
can
gonna go
use that
ham,
on
so.
black or overly curly.
Let
Is
you.
that what you said word for word? Oh, I was like, I can't hear that coming out of Lexi's mouth.
What was your question?
Your head feel okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's getting a little red.
That's fine.
You're not hurting?
I'm white. I mean, it happens.
Okay.
Okay, so Jocelyn, Janine, the other Janine. What shampoo is best to use after shaver fade? I go with moisturizing because again, we're trying to make sure our client's scalp is nice and hydrated. So I just use Great Clips nourishing or moisturizing. I prefer moisturizing though.
Yeah, it's like
You wouldn't want to
quickly.
No. Tea tree can actually be a little bit dehydrating for the scalp. So yeah, even after we have all gone over his scalp, there are still little hairs that need to be gotten out. That's why
And
you need to
sometimes
be.
with darker areas, even though it doesn't feel like it, but if you hold it tight and now feel it.
I
You
see
wanna
it.
go over
This
that
is why
again.
they don't
me
want us to
see.
do shavers.
See, if you hold
Oh,
it
it's
tight,
gonna take
it
so
feels
long.
smooth right
But
now,
the
but when you
thing
go
is,
over it.
The all over shaver actually, this guy's like.
It'd be nice if Billy's really attached to a body.
Wait, which way am I? I go this way?
Yeah, but all over
So-
shaver fade or shavers all over. That takes so long. Yeah, it takes forever.
I don't know how most people do, but I tip really good, so I mean.
He does that. Can confirm. Which I appreciate. I like paying my electric.
Well, and he respects that it takes her time. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's awesome.
You have another question?
Oh, here's one. I found one.
Yep. So, I have one client who's a regular. He comes in every Sunday, gets a high and tight with the shavers.
No, you don't.
I have started telling him that I would like for him to get a shampoo with his haircut. Because
You wanna go bowling tomorrow, Lexi? I'll go bowling tomorrow.
are you leaving me? Sorry.
Lexi, are you leaving me? Yeah.
Thanks for coming to class.
Okay, bye, I love you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Mom, you did great.
Mom, we'll have a station ready for you tomorrow.
Nice meeting you.
So that way it won't hurt your haircut time, too, if you sell the shampoo.
This is so good because like you don't. When I first got these,
So any
I didn't want to
extra
act like I didn't know what I was doing.
time, it
So I would
doesn't
just
count.
like I just faked it.
trims don't count.
Hey Aspen, can you do his beard? Do you just want to do his beard since we told his wife and kids that he'd only be about 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I really thought.
I think I am gonna do.
No, it just, it
Real-
drops it off.
Aspen's got something to say, guys.
Sorry.
that's not counting your, like, that haircut's dropped out of your average haircut time, right?
It is?
Yes.
Yeah, the minute you put a beard trim or a shampoo on your ticket,
It's not, those ones are not counting your haircut.
No.
That's why I always try to make women get shampoos.
People
Okay.
are really good at
so
that.
what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do one side with the old shavers, the cruddy ones, and then one side with the Andis. Not the Babeless that we just used, the Andis. So, good.
They're called Andis, or not Andis.
And the Andis we sell, right?
You're holding yours, by the way.
Yes,
Ashton.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you. Well, I wasn't.
Oh man, you want to give us a demonstration on what will happen if you use broken ones?
Nope.
No, I don't.
I'm joking.
She'll do it on your arm.
I had that happen to me once. I was using the shavers incorrectly. I was using these ones actually, not Amanda's, but I pushed too far in, and the foil flicked out and almost cut the ever-loving crud out of my client. My client was mad. I was upset. I didn't know what happened. He asked me if I knew what I was doing. I probably didn't.
That's why these plastics are so fun. I know. I know.
And sometimes I'll just double fist it like this.
I should have made it mandatory.
It sounded inappropriate.
Well, I think if everyone's doing it the same way, it's more efficient. And then if something goes wrong, you can say, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when new people come in, everyone's trained the same way, so anyone can jump in and help them, and they're not getting confused.
You guys see how quick I just got through that whole part of his face? Alright, lift up for me. You guys see how I kind of go down multiple times before I start doing my upward motion? That's so I can really sketch out that area. Because that actually cuts the hair down just a little bit. But it doesn't quite take it down all the way yet.
Ask them about how long do you think we're gonna be?
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
I'm so, yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry, I don't rush at all.
Anyway.
It's okay.
Does anyone have a time check for my model?
7:23.
Yeah, we're sailing I don't, you're on the other side. The side on this, like from the side on the right.
I live on the left
side.
Hey, you guys, I came to a good spot and I realized I should probably let you guys know this. When you are on the lip, obviously you can't really pull your client's skin down. So and he already knows, just to go ahead, have them pop their lips in, and you'll be able to, I try and get a little bit in the nose
What
too.
do you always say, put your tongue at the top of your lip, or?
I say if I'm trying to get them to get their soul patch, I tell them to put their tongue in their lip. Like that. Put your tongue in your lip.
Dip it. Oh.
Like your
then
tongue is the dip.
The mustache just takes up your
So, and a lot of the guys know too when they're going over their own mustaches that they have to,
Yeah, I wonder why some guys do it, like try to turn on. I'm like, what are you doing? You stop. Yeah. It's
Probably got lost in part. Okay, so we've got our side done with our Andes.
Those are really close too.
But I'm gonna have you guys come feel after I'm done with this side and have you feel the 3 different sides to see if you guys can feel the difference.
Ooh, do we get a prize? Did you guess which one?
I really thought about getting prizes. I wanted to do games, but
Next one.
That's fine.
My product class
Do
will
you
have
guys
days.
have any classes that you'd like Aspen to do? Because we're gonna try to rotate it with like our meetings, so like
And I'm gonna
every
do,
6 weeks
I'm
we'll
gonna
do
do
a
an
computer
A, I'm
class.
gonna do an A-line class too, so the girls want to come. I'm doing the manager cut, pick me the A-line.
Why is it the manager cut?
Flat top, you want a flat top class?
I would be down for flat top class, because I don't know.
So,
When someone comes in, they only one person can do flat top, and they're not there.
who else could do at your shop can do a flat top?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hers was that
Hey,
good one
Brittany,
posted on
can
the
you pull up a
website.
picture of a flat top for me? You've got a phone.
Elise does good flat top.
I've literally only ever done one in my life.
But it was like perfect.
Amanda knows how to do it.
I think everyone, I make everyone do it no matter what.
You guys see how I'm still chewing on this side?
Yep.
Yeah, I did.
You can hear how cheap those ones are.
Yeah,
Like
it
after
makes-
using the Babyliss one,
it makes me feel crappy for wasting my money on them, you know?
That's how I felt too.
Oh,
That's why I just keep following them.
Thank you, Brittany.
okay. Yeah, I can't pull
I
it
got
off.
the cordless 100-year clippers. They're awesome.
I got it, let's wait till that goes.
The other ones are way better.
So did you guys hear them?
The other ones are way better.
Which one?
What don't you like about the ones she just used?
Do they
It's
fold?
definitely taking a lot longer, and
Does it
you have to. No,
The scratch.
the scratching or nothing. I don't feel the difference, but I definitely could tell the other one was a lot easier and a lot faster than the ones on the
You
left.
thought you were gonna be
You tell me
If
getting
you
a
want
haircut.
shaver,
Just like I'll leave you getting shavers.
Now, what about, have you guys seen like the European fades that are popping up? Have you guys got any of those at your salon? Where it's how do I
It's Chinese, or Asian face.
Oh, yes.
What is it, where the line is still there?
in the back, kinda?
Yeah, let me look it up.
It's like a bowl cut.
When Janine and I seen them at that back to school rally, remember that horrible fade?
It's supposed to be.
Where it was really heavy